Story 1. When he's alone, he talks to himself in the third person, making comments on the things he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, he has done it again. He's made the best omelet in history for the third time this month. He's the man of the year. Look at him getting a glass and opening the fridge. Oh, is he going for orange juice? Yes, he is. Okay, now he needs to do something. But what was it? Right, the toast. The toast, everybody. He almost forgot the toast. Stuff like that. I'm glad he does it loudly. It's hilarious, especially when he gets tired and stops mid-sentence but keeps doing what he's doing in silence. Even funnier when he starts speaking again all of a sudden. Story 2. She never, ever eats the last bite of anything. She will always have a bite of whatever is left on her plate after a meal. She has never once, in the 20 years I have been with her, eaten the last piece of pizza. She will never take the last peanut. I have never seen her finish a can of Pringles. Upside for me, I get the last of everything. Story 3. He lies on the floor to decompress, which isn't too bizarre. However, he lies down in weird spots and occasionally accidentally scares me immensely. One time, he was lying on the floor in the front entrance closet, petting the cat, and fell asleep. I just saw his legs on the ground sticking out from the closet. My first thought was that he had fallen, hurt himself, and was unconscious. But he was just snuggling with the cat. Another time, I couldn't find him anywhere in the house and started to panic. But he was lying on the back deck on his belly, talking to the skunk that lives under the deck. This was at night. So all I saw was a man sprawled on the deck in the dark. Scared me silly. Story 4. He always finds random objects around the house to make into a hat for me. Fresh laundry, hat. Random plushies, hat. Bubble wrap, hat. Then he makes one for himself, we take a funny picture and hang it on our hat photos wall. Story 5. When he wakes up in the morning, he puts on all his clothes just to walk to the bathroom, take them off and have a shower. Why? I will never understand that. Story 6. My husband occasionally talks in his sleep and will also laugh like a little girl while sleeping. It absolutely cracks me up and creeps me out at the same time. Story 7. I do not know how weird this is, but my boyfriend constantly talks to himself. He also gives voices to our pets, 2 cats and a dog. Each pet has a distinct voice and accent. Some of them have catchphrases. Sometimes when he's getting ready for work in the morning, I'll hear him having conversations with the pets and himself in all the various voices. It's hilarious and adorable. Sometimes I catch myself doing it now, too. Story 8. He needs the global positioning system even though he knows the area and the way. If the global positioning system goes out, he will oddly panic. He is always hot no matter what. He is a nice furnace, but I am always freezing cold and needing a million layers. He has gone to the doctor and they said he is in perfect health and everything is working efficiently. Story 9. My wife is a neat freak, always cleans up after herself and is putting things away. However, I noticed that when she runs out of toilet paper, she will just take the new roll and stand it on top of the empty tube instead of replacing it. I asked her why she does that, and she said, "It's the one thing I allow myself to be lazy about." I think it's hilarious. Story 10. He gets very concerned about his socks to the point he will count them when he is folding laundry and get irritated when he cannot find all of them. Then he accused me of doing something with them, as if I would do anything with his stupid socks. Story 11. She usually dresses normally, but sometimes she goes through phases where she dresses like people from different eras. Like a 70s disco phase outfit or an 80s rock chick outfit or a 1950s dress outfit. It's one thing to do this for a day or something. She will do it for like 3 to 4 weeks straight, ordering clothes on Amazon to make new outfits, wearing the outfits to go grocery shopping or walking the dog, etc. And then she rinses and repeats every once in a while. She also will obsessively watch movies from that era when this happens. She has been doing this for over 20 years. She is known in our neighborhood for doing this. Story 12. My wife microwaves lettuce. Like when she eats a salad at home, she warms up the lettuce. Imagine if you cut off one of your feet and left it to rot for about a week. That's what hot lettuce smells like. Story 13. Often makes noises to narrate my life. like making squishing noises when I use my beauty blender. Story 14. She does gather things, bringing little trinkets home and presenting them to me. I always say, very impressive. She puts little piles of things all over the house and gets upset if they are disturbed or I suggest getting rid of them. Story 15. She mostly closes doors, but only mostly. Not fully ajar, not fully closed. I have never seen this wonderful woman completely close a door in 13 years plus. Luckily, it is just inside doors. Story 16. She sleeps with her eyes open occasionally and will also sometimes laugh like someone just told her the greatest joke ever told while sleeping. I've accepted my little demon. Story 17. He does this loud chicken noise like a bokak, just randomly, and it could be anywhere. It has never been inappropriate, but it is always surprising and I laugh every freaking time. Story 18. Anything that could go or fit on top of anything else is called a hat. There are no lids, there are no covers, there are no toppers or caps. We have a top loader freezer. She wouldn't say, close the lid. She'd say, put the freezer hat back on. Bottle caps? No. Bottle hats. Does the pot of boiling water have a lid? Nope, it has a hat. Wine bottle stopper? Try again. That's a hat. Trash bin cover? Trash bin hat. There are hats and only hats. Added note, she's a native English speaker, but her family is Lithuanian. I think it's something she picked up from her dad as a kid, and it just became a habit. She is aware that it's goofy. Story 19. My wife says no to almost everything I ask her to do. If I ask her to bring me toilet paper because I am out, she will say no but then proceed to bring it to me. It is her way of practicing being able to say no. Story 20. When she gets a little too drunk, it's like someone flips a switch. One moment she is totally fine. The next, she speaks in complete gibberish and says things that make no sense. And that's usually my sign that it's time for us to go home. Story 21. Certainly night terrors. Me, kissing him before I leave. Bye. See you this afternoon. Him, with a terrified expression trying to get away without moving. Me, what's wrong? Him, there's a leprechaun behind you. Me, okay, I'll put him outside when I leave. Story 22. Loses one sock. She will be sitting in a chair watching TV or something, and 20 minutes later, one sock is gone. I would understand if she took both of them off for heat, comfort, or whatever, but one is just weird. Story 23. My youngest had trouble learning to eat solids, and my wife spent 3 to 5 meals a day for about 6 months, mimicking eating to her. It's now 9 years later, and after every first bite of a meal, she goes, "M." It's a charming relic of a stressful time in life. Story 24. Eats ice. Like all the time. She's crunching down a tray of ice. It's weird as can be and annoying, but I love her. Story 25. My boyfriend is a biologist and absolutely cannot stop himself from interacting with any animal, insect, or bird that his brain has deemed interesting. I spotted him softly talking to bugs and bees when he thinks no one's looking. Also, as long as he has deemed it safe if we spot a snail, and he's really good at spotting snails, it's insane, he will pick it up no matter the circumstances. We've spent hours in parks and sanctuaries in one single spot if he spotted a cool lizard or an animal because we must make new animal friends. His parents tell me all the different insects, bugs, and tiny animals he used to bring to them as a child, laughing my face off. Story 26. Every time we watch a horror movie, my partner insists on turning all the lights on and then falls asleep within the first 15 minutes. She swears she's not scared. Story 27. He always has to sleep facing away from me. Even when he's asleep and I switch sides after 10 minutes, he turns around again. Apparently, I talk a lot in my sleep, and I can actually hold conversations, as I'm told. I don't remember anything when I wake up. I've once tried to explain that today is Thursday, so that means tomorrow is Tuesday. Story 28, he makes weird noises. Like, we will just be sitting there, and suddenly he will go, "Awwur, phew wee wee shebang ah." It scares the crap out of me because it is loud, random, and usually followed by him flipping his hands all around. No, it isn't Tourette syndrome. It's just him blowing off steam, or so he says. Edit to add, He does not have autism either. Story 29. Lose her composure all the time. I never thought I would be the organized one in the relationship, but I have routines for where my stuff goes. Keys hang on the wall by the front door, sunglasses hang next to that. Wallet, pen, and knife go on the table just below. Her sunglasses can literally be anywhere. I found them in the freezer, behind the toilet in the bathroom, and tucked between the cushions on the couch. Her tiny purse that she carries ID, credit cards, and a little cash is the same. It could be anywhere. So when it's time to go do something outside, she's very rush, let's get going now, until it comes time for her to find the purse, sunglasses, and keys. Then it's stand around and wait or help her find them. I've started adding 10 minutes to our timelines just for that reason. I find it somewhat endearing, but man, I wish she'd just put her items where they go. Edit. Some of you never go outside and it shows. Story 30. This one is innocent but just so odd to me. When you open our fridge, where the handle meets the door, there is a hole at the top of it. Every single time she opens the fridge, she puts her finger in the hole and pulls it out. It makes this popping sound, like you can make with the side of your cheek. And then she lets out a quiet little giggle. It's adorable. Story 31. He randomly licks me. We will be cuddling, and he just will lick my shoulder real quickly. I don't get it. Story 32. Mine is a nurse and will randomly check my pulse and various other things about me without telling me. I catch her doing it sometimes. I fear I am some weird experiment to her. Story 33. He is the loudest teeth brusher. He clears his throat so incredibly loud, and it's so gross. I have accepted it and tried to ignore it. We've been married for 14 years. Story 34. Spends over an hour on the toilet. I have grown to understand it is a form of meditation and much needed alone time. Story 35. Blames his farts on inanimate objects. Examples include the house, a cat, me, we were the only people in the room, a plastic dinosaur, and a sandwich. Story 36. I can tell that this post was inspired by another post from the guy whose insane fiancée throws away his teaspoons. Story 37. Sleeps on my chest. In movies, you always see the girl with her head on the guy's big, burly chest. But my boyfriend likes to use my chest as his own personal pillows. Story 38. My wife will give very detailed and specific directions when asking me to pick something up or to bring her something in a very confident manner. She is almost always incorrect, like asking me to go get her black scarf before we go out. She will say something like, "It's on the third shelf in the bedroom closet, on the left side underneath the rainbow scarf and the red scarf. And there's not only no black scarf, but no scarves at all in the closet." Story 39. Oh my goodness, this is possibly the cutest thread I have ever read on here, or anywhere to be honest. I love you all and your adorably weird partners. Story 40. She always talks to her plants every day as if every time we both wake up, she would say kind words towards them. I found it a bit weird at first, but she said it helps them grow. But her plants are thriving, so I guess it must be real. Story 41. Mine will play our fat cat like bagpipes. He'll hold her under one arm until she makes her annoyed growl or whine, then pat her belly to make the noise change pitch and rhythm. I honestly don't get it, but whatever makes him happy. Also, the cat is obsessed with him and will let him do this for ages. If she runs away, she comes back to him in 2 minutes to do it again. Weirdo creeps, both. Story 42. When he is the big spoon, he scoots over on his side as he goes, "Noom." And then when he rests his head on my back, as he hugs me tight around the waist, he goes, "Click, I am a backpack." Story 43. My wife was a hoarder of beads. She tended to hoard in general, but I insisted on keeping it in check. However, the beads were the exception. She passed away, and I have weeks of boxing the stuff up to sell. I do miss her and her beloved crafts. The house seems empty without the stacks of totes. Story 44. Oh, can I say what I do that my partner has accepted? One day I woke up and my now husband told me, "You're really creepy to sleep next to. Do you know that?" I asked him why, what happened, what did I say or do? I talk in my sleep when I'm stressed and say odd things like, "Where are my moon boxes?" The stars are bleeding. He stated he woke up in the night and saw me lying flat on my back with both arms outstretched to the ceiling like I'm waiting for the aliens to come pick me up. I slowly reached one arm over to scratch my outstretched arm, then slowly reached over to scratch the other arm. I resumed outstretching. I then slowly lowered both arms to the bed. I told him, "Oh, huh. I thought I outgrew that as a kid because I used to wake up as a child because my arms would be tired from holding them towards the ceiling all night. We like to call it my I'm trying to phone in to the aliens sleeping move. Oof. Edit. I love that one of my highest upvoted Reddit comments is about me doing something silly in my sleep and finding out there are other people out there that do this exact same thing. And I feel a little less alone and a little more normal. Smiley face.